This is Julia Campos, and I'm a part of the Midwest Tex-Mex Radio as well as La Única for 88.1. I'm here with the Conjunto Cats, such as...
Hey, hello, Conjunto Cats, Art Campos.
Nathan Azalde.
Diego Campos.
And Z Campos.
And that's an amazing last name because we got other Campos in here. I'm so excited to be here. So, Conjunto music is a staple of Tejano music. And with that being said, what was an inspiration for the Conjunto Cats? How did this all start?
This is the man Az. That's where it started.
Actually, man, this whole Conjunto Cats thing, if you notice by the name of the band, it's kind of like I don't know what you want to call it, like a quirky name. It's like a kind of like a funny name, Conjunto Cats, because it was intended to be just a band that was we were just going to be playing just backyard parties. It was just supposed to just be for like family, and then the demand grew, and we started recording music. We started putting out recordings just to give away to friends, and that turned into full-fledged CDs. And fast forward, and here we are today. So the inspiration, I guess, was just putting a band together for my family where I mean, we didn't have to pay for another Conjunto band to come in or another Tejano band to come in. We were going to be the own entertainment, and it turned into what it is today.
And then what was the inspiration to make you guys start playing the music? Like, what made you pick up the accordion? What made you guys start on instruments?
So at first I wasn't really like into the music and all that. It was like mainly just like my brother and my dad. But like more and more throughout the years, my dad was telling me like, hey, you're going to start off learning the drums. And so I started doing that, learning the drums. And then after that, my dad was like, all right, we need a bass player. So start learning the bass. So over time, my dad started teaching me the bass. And over time, I just started picking up on my own and taking it more serious. And here I am today. So.
Yeah, same with me. I grew up around my dad. So I would always go and check on my dad whenever he would go play and help out bands. And just... I guess my dad got me into it. Whenever you're surrounded by, I guess, certain type of music, certain type of environment, you just become a part of it.
Yeah, you
so
go into it.
Exactly.
Sure.
So I started off on drums whenever I was about 3, and then around the age of 8 or 9, I picked the bajo sexto, and then 10, 11, I started on the accordion, and that's been my passion since then.
That's
so
amazing.
yeah.
Man, I've been around the music for my whole life, man. So, yeah, like Zeke said, when you're a part of it, when you're around it, you become a part of it. And that was the case with the drums. Yeah.
So I mean, pretty much like Nathan's dad is he's got his production company. He sets up sounds for like all kinds of bands. He recently did Michael Salgado, Marcos Orozco, Conjunto Romo, just everybody who needs production. That's what Nathan's dad does. So man, he's been doing that from day one. So Nathan, being this young kid, being surrounded by all this music, well, like Zeke says, it becomes a part of your DNA, you know, and it just grows, and it becomes a part of you. Just like myself, my dad played music, and I grew up. I got the experience, when people talk about the cantinas and being in the smoky bars and that old school setting where just grandma and grandpa were dancing. Well, I got to experience that, and not the real fancy production with all the lights and everything. It was kind of just 2 speakers, a couple of mics, the drum set, and it was just like, hey man, that's the way everybody played back then. But now, times have changed, and it's 2023 going into 2024, and here we are. It's a whole different breed of music. Musicians, and we're just trying to keep the vibe alive and keep the life alive of the music.
And how do you think you guys performing in a band has affected your relationships, not only as business partners now, but even just as family?
I feel like it's brought us together, helped us to work together as a family. But it's something you got to work together in a family band. You got to know how to, like I said, just work together and not hurt other people's feelings, understanding, and whenever you're in a business with a family, since they're your family, you're kind of used to saying more stuff than you wouldn't necessarily tell a random person or a friend, So you just got to have to have a line and not cross certain boundaries, So sure. That's how I feel about that.
Yeah, well, my take on that, kind of like what Zeke said, it's working together has brought us closer together, So I spend my weekend with my sons like every weekend. We're always together, and so like like Zeke said, sometimes, you got to watch what you say, because we all live in the same household.
Yeah.
And we can't get up in the morning, go into the bathroom and just push each other against the wall and say, hey, man, you told me this earlier at rehearsal or whatever. But, but with that being said is, there was a point where like Diego wasn't in the band. I didn't have Nathan in the band. I had my other musicians in the band that were playing. And so I was always like what you want to call maybe kind of like the shot caller. I was the one that would call out the songs, call out what was going to be recorded, what wasn't going to be recorded and whatnot. But like now with the new generation, I adjusted to the situation. So now I kind of let Zeke handle what we're gonna play, what's gonna what he hears and what the youngsters hear. Because I had to realize that. That if I want this music to continue to grow, I want Conjunto Cats to continue to have longevity in this industry.
Yes.
Well, of course, man, like I want like the youngsters to be able to relate and enjoy the music what we're playing. Because if the young people hear what we're playing and they like it, well, they're gonna grow up and they're gonna grow older and they're gonna have their kids and they're gonna introduce our music to their kids and they're gonna say, hey, look, this is the music that we grew up dancing to, Conjunto Cats, and then their kids are gonna know about the Conjunto Cats. So with that being said, I kind of took a step back and I just said, hey, you know what? I'm just gonna let the boys decide what's gonna be played, because what I'm hearing is not what they're hearing, And when it comes to like song selection, sometimes I'm like, man, why do you want to, I ask myself, like, man, why do they want to play these songs, these same old songs that I have been playing since I was a teenager? And it just kind of burns out the ears, right?
Yeah.
But then this gentleman once told me, he goes, man, they're young. He goes, and those songs that are old to us are new to them. He goes, so when you make the adjustment and like the youngsters hear these songs that we've been hearing like since we were teenagers, it's fresh to them, but it's old to us. He goes, but if you want it to grow, you have to kind of adjust with the youngsters and let them continue to like push you up, because again, like I said, what I hear and what they hear is two totally different things. I'm already a little bit older and they're fresh, young ears. So I want the youngsters to be able to relate to them and to continue to like push this sound and this band forward. So that way the Conjunto Cats have longevity in this industry.
So when we're talking about combining the older music with the newer music of Tejano and the way that it's transitioning from, the older generation to the new generation, since you are somebody of the older generation collaborating with the newer generation, do you think that's the main key to keeping the past, the present, and moving that towards the future?
Oh yes, absolutely, man. I think it's the mixture, because you got these like older people that have heard like the older Tejano, and they introduce the music to their kids, and their kids are like, man, I don't want to listen to that.
Yeah.
I want to hear something else. But whenever you can collaborate with the younger kids, and then you put a sound out there that has like a funky beat, or like a nice groovy beat, and you start to hear, and if you're young, you're like, hey man, I like this. Even though you don't understand the music, but you understand the vibe, and you understand, you can relate to the groove. And if it gets you moving, well, hey man, that's gonna attract like the younger crowd too. Yeah. And so that's where parents can say, pues vamos al baile, come on. And then the younger, well, yeah, let's go. I like that band because I like the way they play.
Yeah.
So I think that's something, the way it collaborates, because the younger generation can come together with their parents, and they can both enjoy music, but it's friendly to both age groups, and they can both relate and enjoy the music, together.
Yeah, I feel like what you're reminding me of is basically what David Lee Garza did for Jay Perez and Ram Herrera.
Sí.
So you had somebody who was like in the game for a lot longer than what the others have done, and then they put Jay Perez on the stage, and then we put Ram Herrera on the stage, and then those are now like the clásicos. So now it's the collaborations between them and who's going on forth. So
right.
I definitely agree with what you're saying.
Yeah,
and then anything, do you guys think that there's any other key elements when tying together like the old Tejano music to what's come?
Yeah, just like my dad said, just finding a good middle ground, because what they grew up with and what we're growing up with, totally different, so finding good middle ground that'll make everyone happy.
Yeah, just pretty much what they both said. I think it's good to keep it to rationalize it at like 50% like what like the older people would hear, and like 50% like what we hear as like a young generation, to like give it like that new, you could say like a new style in a way, like rock conjunto or something like that, you know, up it a little bit. So that's my thought about that. So
You guys are also featured in the Nuestra Música Monthly, and you guys are up for various nominations for the Guadalupe Awards. I know you're nominated for Accordionist of the Year, and you are also nominated for Bajo of the Year.
Bajo Sexto Player of the Year.
And then you guys as a group are nominated for Conjunto of the Year. So what have these accomplishments what do they mean to you in your career as you're growing and flourishing as a group?
If I'm being totally honest, I really don't look at the trophies, the nominations. I kind of just stay focused on my goals and trying to get the band better, get myself better. I try to stay focused on my own goals.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, it's cool and everything, but at the end of the day, just like, it's just...
It's
just another day. It's another
Yeah.
accomplishment, but this is just the beginning. You know, I'm always looking towards the future. This is cool right now, but what can I accomplish even bigger than this in the future?
I would probably say that, like what he said, I mean, we're not really like looking at all that and stuff. We're just like focusing on us, just keeping the music going, just trying to improve. But I mean, I could say like for us being awarded like top 5, it just shows like, oh, y'all are improving, or like y'all getting better. Just like a little sign. That's how I take it. I don't take it as nothing like too valuable, but it's still an honor to be voted from all the people. So that's my opinion.
Yeah, for sure. Man, just wrapping everything up what they said. I would have to agree, you know, and I'm not like Zeke said, I'm not one to be looking at the awards or looking at the trophies or who voted for what or who voted for that. But I will say, I'm not one of those artists to be putting out there, hey, vote for me, vote for me, vote for me. Hey, man, you know, this is the way I look at it. I don't tell anybody to vote for me, because I strongly feel if you're gonna vote for me, you vote for me because you want to vote for me. I'm not gonna ask you, hey, bro, you vote for who you want to vote. And you know, and I'm a strong believer in, we're not everybody's favorite band, you know, and it's just, and that's just the nature of the business. You know, whenever there was this. You know, there was this one gentleman that I knew as a co-musician, and when he told me, you know what, man, I don't really like Ramon Ayala, and I was like, what? Everybody likes Ramon Ayala, and when he told me that, it was like a eye-opening, like hearing that, like, man, if that dude even has like people that really don't like him, well, then that's gonna be something that we have to grow with, you know, and just continue to move. But yeah, as far as like the trophies and all that, you know, again, just like Zeke and Diego said, and I'm sure Nate feels the same way. You know, we don't look at the awards, and I mean, it's great. It's a great recognition. Yeah. I know the founder from the Guadalupe Awards, so shout out to Andrew Belmares, man. I know him, and I know David Munoz, the one from Nuestra Música Monthly, and man, they've always supported Conjunto Cats, and I want to thank them with all my heart for continuously, you know, putting a lot of love and supporting us. And but yeah, man, I kind of just leave it up to the people. I don't ask nobody for votes. I don't ask nobody for nothing.
That's what it's about too.
It's like I'm not out there, you know, putting it on social media. And I just want to say for the record, because I'm sure other artists are gonna see this interview and whatever. I'm not saying that what they're doing is wrong. That what they're wanting to win the award or whatever. But that's just the way I do things with, you know, with Conjunto Cats. You know.
Okay, and then one of our final questions is, throughout your career, I know you guys have definitely faced a lot of hardships, as well as many things that are as equally as gratifying. And in some ways, what are those?
Getting out of so I grew up with a lot of conjunto music, and so conjunto music was really all I knew in terms of Tejano, Texas Mexican music. That's all I grew up with. So kind of getting out of the conjunto scene, experiencing more, exposing myself more to David Lee, Jay Perez, a lot more Tejano, Mas. You know, that was a little, that was different for me, trying to accept those types of music. But whenever you look into it and you really you can appreciate that music, it gives you a whole nother light. It gives you a whole nother I don't know. It makes you appreciate that
Yeah.
music a lot more. So I would say getting out of the conjunto scene and experiencing more Tejano music. That would be my little hump. Yeah.
And then what's one of the biggest blessings you received so far?
I would say playing in this band with my family and, going through every week. Like my dad said, every weekend we're together playing.
Yeah.
So just jamming the music I like with my family and being them being there with me every weekend all the time.
Probably like the hardest challenge from my point of view, I'd probably say for the band is just like finding that sound that we can enjoy. Because in the past, there's been ups and downs where like we play too fast and people have said something and like we just like kind of ignored it. We just like kept going. But over time, we started to see like it's a little too fast, like for the people to enjoy and for us to enjoy. Because sometimes my dad would just be like singing real fast and I noticed that. So like over time, we just started trying to like rebuild that rhythm. And over time, I feel like we're getting there to that point where we're finding our true sound and who we really are. So that's mine. And probably like a blessing, probably what my brother said, being able to play with him and then my dad and then Nathan, because like we've known each other forever. So I mean, I would say that's a good thing. And like it's always been my dad's dream for like him to play with his boys. So I'm happy that we could like make that happen and he can like live out his dream. So that's what I'm happy about. Very blessed for that.
Yeah, Hardships, man, I would say just as much as people say that it's not a competition out there, under the skin, it is a little competition, man, and it's just the nature of the business, just having to, being out there and try to stay busy, try to stay at work with in the industry and, because there's a lot of talent out there. There's a lot of great bands out there, man. There's a lot of great conjunto bands out there and everybody is powerful, man. There's some powerful bands out there. And to be able just to stay in that race and be able to compete at that level, because again, like I said, as much as guys say we're all humble and we're not in competition with nobody, hey man, at the end of the day, if they call me instead of calling you, there's a little business. And it's like, hey man, we should have had that gig. Conjunto Cats got it. Hey man, But it's just being that, that's been one of the hardest challenges is just, staying busy, man. Thankfully, we've been blessed with a lot of work and just, staying busy every weekend, and making people happy and making people dance all across Texas, man. And last year we were able to go up to Toledo, Ohio. We did Chicago. We just got back last weekend from Arizona. We were in Arizona last weekend. So we're spreading our paws a little bit and grabbing here and there, and being able to venture out of Texas a bit. So that's I would say that that would be one of the hardships and the blessings of it all, being able to expand and seeing the name grow. Because like I told you at the beginning, Conjunto Cats was just a band that we weren't intending to do anything big. It was just going to be, just for families, backyard parties. And for it to become what it is today, it's just like, sometimes when I think about it, just me, when sometimes things slow down and I can just sit and just think and reminisce about things, it's like, man, I remember when we started, we were just, nobody knew who we were. And then like at the beginning, trying to get the name off the ground and trying to like get people to trust in us and let us play for their festival and let us go onto their club and whatnot and just be able to play in some of these places where I didn't think we were ever able to get into, off the top of my head, being on some of the David Farias cruises, being able to play like the State Fair, being able to play like the Tejano Conjunto Festival, some of these Barbacoa and Big Red, some of these huge festivals, man, that only like you see like top of the line bands playing and to be able to see us on those tickets and being featured as one of the main acts at those events is like, that's an enormous blessing for me, And then again, like my boy said, to be able to share this experience with my son Zeke, Diego, and I tell people that Nathan's my weekend son because he's with me Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, and I'm going back to his parents. But those are my, I would say my hardships and my blessings of this whole journey that I'm on right now.
And then finally, just for a fun question, what is one of your guys' favorite Tejano songs?
Anything?
It could be anything. Just can't be wrong.
I don't know. I've been on the Signo, Mila 22, Frontera. I like all those bands,
Yeah.
but if I was to choose one right now, it'd probably be the Mila 22, the Chimena. That's my favorite song right now that just dropped. So if you haven't heard it, go listen to it.
Just off the top of my head, I guess Dos Corazones Errantes by Tony La Rosa.
There you go.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh man, there's so much out there, man. But man, something that really grabs my attention, and one song that I listen to all the time, and I would have to say the one from Grupo Frontera with Peso Pluma, man, Tulum, man. It's
yeah,
just,
that's a good one.
man, just the lyrics to that song, man, are just like, especially that line that says "Eres lo más rico que hay en el menú," and I was like, oh, that's freaking. Man, that's a strong line right there, man. You know, so I mean, hey, man, if you can't get a girlfriend by telling her that line right there, well then your game is just
ugly.
weak.
It's kind of hard for me to pick a favorite, man. I'd probably say something like the 1% by Frontera.
There you
and
go.
Bad
Yeah,
Bunny.
Frontera's a really hot band right now, too. All right, and then any other closing remarks you guys want to give on just behalf of your guys' group or anybody you want to shout out to?
Well, first of all, thank y'all for coming and hanging out with us, giving us this interview, and keep on making people happy with our music. So.
Yeah, man, I want to send a shout out to all the supporters, man, of Conjunto Cats, and to all the radio people that are going to be listening to you guys. Thank you very much for making the trip, and making the effort to come out here and because I know if I was you coming from Toledo to come talk to me, I wouldn't want to come talk to me. I'd be like, bro, I already drove like 20 hours, man. I ain't about to go see you. I'll call you on the phone or whatever. But yeah, man, I want, to y'all and to all the, to all the promoters that have given us the opportunity, to all the event coordinators, just everybody in general in the industry that has given Conjunto Cats an opportunity to do something. Also, I know earlier y'all were with Gilbert Velasquez, so shout out to Gilbert, man. Gilbert, we just got through recording a brand new CD with Gilbert. So to everybody out there listening, we're gonna have brand new music coming out soon. We're gonna be recording actually 3 music videos here tomorrow, so I don't know when this is gonna air, but the videos will probably be already done by the time this airs or whatever.
Yeah.
But we're about to go record some music videos. So shout out to Ryan Basan and Eddie Perez and everybody doing what they can to keep Conjunto Cats' name alive. And and to my family, to my wife, to my siblings that always continue to support Conjunto Cats, and to everybody, thank you very much.
Yeah, shout out to everybody that comes out to support us every weekend. Always showing up, different cities, everything. Yeah, shout out to them.
All right, and this is Julia Campos on Midwest Tex-Mex Radio en La Única en 88.1. Thank you for tuning in.